Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Joseph Mayor. Today we are going to learn how to create an advanced frequency separation action which is going to serve as a building block for our subsequent retouching tutorials right here on my channel. So stick and stay with me and let's begin. Okay guys, so the whole concept of frequency separation is to isolate the texture from the skin tones, to preserve the reality of an image. So if you take a look at this image right here, that is exactly what I have done. For those of you who follow my Instagram, you realize that I've published this a couple of days ago. So for those of you who don't know my Instagram, you can follow me at Joseph Mayor, and we get interactive. Okay, so because this has already been worked on, I'm going to jump straight to this image right here, and this is part of the images that I put out for you guys to try hands on. So if you don't have the images, you can just refer to my previous video, and the link to the files sorry, I beg your pardon, is right there, so you can download them. Okay, right. So as you can see, this image is quite clean, so I don't need to do any much cleaning and then before I start the whole process. So but I'm gonna record another video where I'm gonna teach you how to use the action we are coming to record today. So um don't get discouraged, or don't. I know a lot of you have questions on your mind, like why are we not taking out the sport, why are we not doing this. uh so it doesn't affect the action we are coming to record today. So don't get freaked out. Okay, all right. So we are going to jump straight to to record the action, but before you have to know that frequency separation is in three portions. We have the 8-bit, we have the 16-bit, and we have the 32-bit frequency separation you know method. So how do which one to use, or which one will suit your image? Now if you go to image and you go to mode and you come down here, you realize that your image bit is the one that is ticked. Okay, so in my case, for this image, 16-bit is ticked, and it's ticked because when I processed from capture one, I selected 16 bits and I brought it to Photoshop to be worked on. That is why it's 16. All right, but I can change it from the 16 here. I can change it to 8. Can change it to 8 or 32, depending on what I want, or what I want to achieve. Okay, so with that said, let's jump straight to record the action. So the first thing you do is to open your action panel. You realize this is empty because I don't have any action here, but if I had actions, you see them listed here. If you don't have this play like button here, you can just go to Windows, and then you click on action, and then this button comes, and then you open it, and then it displays your actions that you have. But in this case, we don't have any action, so we are about to create one. All right, great. So the next thing I'll do is I'm going to click on this folder. So this is like the master folder. This is what the action we will create to be contained. Okay, so I can give it a name like Joseph FS. FS is short of frequency separation. Okay, and then you hit OK. Right, after that, the next thing you do is to click this icon right here, the square with the plus sign in. Okay, once you click this, window will pop up, and this is where you give the name of the action you're about to record. So say we are coming to record a dodge and bend action, we just name it dodge and bend. But in this case, we are recording a frequency separation action, so we enter frequency separation. Yep. And then the next thing is, this is the function key. if you assign a function key to this action, anytime you press the function key, that action is going to be played. Okay, and then this is a color window. When you drop it, you can see various colors in there. You can decide on any of them. Now this does not affect the frequency separation in any way, but it helps you to identify if you have series of how do you call it, series of actions recorded. It helps you to easily identify them, sort of. So I'm going to go with red, and yeah, and then I click on record. Now whatever we do from now is being recorded as part of the action. So you have to pay attention, and then try to get every detail that I'm going to teach in this video. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to make two copies of the background layer. Okay, so how do I do that? I can press Ctrl J or Command J respectively. If you are using a Mac, or it's Command J. If you are using a Windows, it's Control J. Alternatively, I can just drag this background layer and drop it on this square with plus sign, and it creates a layer a copy of the background layer for me. So yeah, and then I can just press Control J and then creates the next one. So I'm gonna name the first one blur, and I'm gonna name the second one texture. This is so easy when you get the concept. It doesn't take much time to to create. Okay, so just pay attention, look out for the details, and then you are good to go. So now that I've named it, I'm gonna turn off the texture layer, and then I'll select the blur layer. Okay, so after I've selected the blur, I'm just going to go to filter. Now most people use the blur option. They go to blur, they come to Gaussian blur, and then they select their radius. Okay, but I use the noise method. So I come to noise, I come to dust and scratch. All right, and then I select a radius that suits my image. Now this is how I decide on which radius to choose. Okay, so I zoom into the eye region, and then I start to move the how do you call it, the radius. Okay, so if I hit a point where I can I can see the features of the face but not the texture, then I know I'm at a good radius. Okay, so between 6 and 7, when I zoom out, you realize that I can see the features of the face, but the the texture is not really there. Okay, so I think I'll go with 7. Now this is not an automatic figure. Depending on the image you have to go around it to find a suitable radius for your image. Okay, so in this case we are going to go with 7. So select 7, and then I click OK. All right, so after clicking OK, I make sure I check this box right here opposite the dust and scratch, right, like this. Now what this does is if I do not check this, if I'm running the action, it's automatically going to select the radius of 7 for me, because that is what I selected in the dust and scratch side. Okay, but when you check this box, it's gonna give you the option to choose the radius that suits your image when you run the action. Okay, great. So now that we understand that, we go to the texture layer, we turn it back on. Okay, it brings back the texture. So we select the texture layer, we go to image, and then we come down to apply image. Now this is where you decide whether you want to record a 16-bit or an 8-bit image. Okay, so because I have done this before, everything is selected already. but by default I think this is what you should have, you know. Yeah, so I make sure I put my layer on selected to blur, okay, and then because this is a 16-bit image, I'm gonna run the 16-bit, frequency separation. Okay, so I make sure I put this to select add for the blending mode, and then my opacity is at 100, my scale is at 2, offset to 0. Then I take the invert, to invert whatever I've done. But if I was to be doing an 8-bit, frequency separation, I wouldn't check the invert. Okay, so I click OK. And then just like we did to prevent, automatic selection of the radius, we will check this box, offset, apply image, right? And then we change the blending mode to of the texture to linear light. Okay, right there. So this is it. At this point, we are almost done with our frequency separation. Okay, so this is all about it. Okay, so now what I like to do is I make a copy of an empty layer in between the texture and the blur. Okay, so I just select the blur, I come down to this button, it's a layer button, just click it, it creates a layer for me, and then I rename it fix me. Okay, fix me. Now, like I said, I'm going to record a subsequent video where I'm going to explain how to use the action we've created today. Okay, so don't get worried. I'm gonna explain the action into details then on the next tutorials that I put out. Okay, so yeah, so what I do again is to group my layers. So I'm gonna group this. I select the three, and then I press Control G on Windows. For those of you who use you can use Control Command J. So, and then I name it FS. Just the same as frequency separation. Now it is important for you to name your to group your layers, your like layers, and group them. So it gives you a neat workflow so that you have your way around your various layers. Okay, so at this point I'm going to press this button right here, and then it's going to stop recording the action because we are through with recording our action. Okay, so I just click the stop, and then our action it stopped recording. So this is what we have. This is our frequency separation action right here. This is what we did. All these are what we did to arrive at our frequency separation. Now we have to check if it really worked or not. So I'm gonna delete this and then come here, and then I'm gonna play the action and see what we have. Right, so if I press play, you see it's brought us to where we can select our own radius. Okay, so here I'm going to select my radius, so say 7. When I input 7, I press OK. It's going to continue running, and then when it gets to this region also, it's going to give me the opportunity to either select a 16-bit frequency separation or an 8-bit frequency separation. Okay, so in this case I'm working on a 16-bit image, so I'm good to go. I just hit enter, and then it creates my frequency separation for me. As easy and simple as that. So just like I said, I'm going to record a subsequent video where I'm going to explain the frequency separation into details. Okay, right, so today we just created the action, all right, which is going to help us to learn how to use the action in the next episode. Okay, so this is just it. This is what we have, right? Great. So let me show you how to run the 8-bit frequency separation also. So I'm going to delete this again, and then I come to image and I change from the mode from my 16 to 8-bit. Okay, right. So now that that is done, let's make sure it's rare. Yeah, okay, it's 8. Okay, right. So I just go hoover to my action, and then I play it, and I select my radius. If 7 works for me, I continue. So this is where I decide whether 16 or 8, right? If you remember, yes. So with 8-bit image, you change, of course, the layer will be set to blur like the 16 exactly. I'll uncheck invert, and then instead of add, I'm gonna subtract. Okay, subtract. I'm gonna subtract. All right, and then my scale set to 2 and my offset set to 128. Okay, and my opacity at 100, and that's it. This is for 8-bit images. So if I hit OK, it runs the frequency separation for me. So it's as simple as that. It doesn't take much time. So I hope you've learned something today, and you're gonna practice it, and you're gonna try it on your own, and let's see the results you get. So if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, you could hit me on my Instagram at Joseph Mayer, or you could write it under this video. And I hope this came as a resourceful material to your retouching journey. Okay, so yes, like I said, in my next episode I'm going to explain how to use the frequency separation. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for staying in touch, and I hope to hear from you know you, and yeah, it will make this channel a better one for all of us. Okay, so if you want to know anything, or if you think there's something I have to do, feel free to leave a comment, or send me a message on my Instagram, and let's get interactive. All right, thank you so much. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do, and let's go together. Okay, I promise you exciting, practical and in-depth tutorial and technical use of photography materials, and what have you. So yeah, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.